Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students. I am your science teacher and today we are going to have our fourth online revision class. In today's class we will revise the unit number 4, that is the characteristics of living things. Fine. Characteristics of living things means those things, those properties, those characteristics from which we can differentiate the living things from the non-living things. Fine. So here we will, in this unit we will talk about the characteristics of living things. First of all, cell. We know that cell is the basic structural and functional unit of living organism. All the living organisms on the earth are made up of the tiny unit, that is the cell. Fine. So basically we have two types of cell. Number one is the plant cell and the second is the animal cell. Fine. So plant cell and animal cell are the basic structural and functional unit of plant and animal respectively. So first of all we will go through the plant cell. In the plant cell, the following image on your screen is the image or the diagram of the plant cell, where the outer wall is the cell wall. Fine. The outermost layer of the plant cell is known as cell wall, which is made up of tough material called cellulose. Fine. It is made up of tough material which is known as cellulose, and its function is to support and protect the plant cell, means it is supportive and protective in function. The next one is the nucleus, which controls the activities of the cell, means it is the control center of the cells. All the activities of the cell are controlled by the nucleus. So nucleus controls the activities of the cell. The next labeling is the cell membrane, which is the inner membrane that lies on the inner side of the cell wall, and it gives shape to the cell. It is also protective in function because it allows only few materials to come inside the cell while prevent other to come in. So it means that it is protective in function as well as it gives shape to the cell. The next one is cytoplasm, which is a jelly-like substance that fills the cell and all the other organelles. Fine. The smaller structures which are present in the cell are suspended or floating in it. Fine. So it is a jelly-like structure which contains or in which the other organelles are floating. Here is the chloroplast, which is the green pigment that contains the green pigment chlorophyll. Fine. The chloroplast is only present in the plant cell and it contains a green pigment called chlorophyll, the function of which is to absorb energy from the sun and helps the plants to make its food. Fine. It helps the plants to make their own food by absorbing the energy from sun. So chloroplast is an organelle which is present only in the plant cell and it contains green pigment called chlorophyll. The last one is the vacuole, which is present in the animal cell as well as in the plant cell, but the only difference is that in the plant cell it is present in the central position and it is larger in size as compared in the animal cell. In the animal cell many smaller vacuoles are present, whereas in the plant cell one large central vacuole is present. And the function of vacuole is to store food, water and waste substances. So if someone asks from you that what is the function of vacuole, so you can answer that the function of vacuole is to store food, water and waste substances. Now come towards the second type of cell, that is the animal cell, where the outer membrane is known as cell membrane. Remember that in the animal cell the cell wall is missing. Fine. So cell wall is only present in plant cell and it is only present in the plant cell, whereas the cell membrane is present both in the plant cell as well as in the animal cell. So outer membrane of the animal cell is the cell membrane, which is protective in function, that it allows few materials to come inside the cell while prevent other to come in, and it also gives shape to the cell. Similarly, cytoplasm is the jelly-like structure that fills the cells and all the other organelles are floating in it. Vacuole, so in animal cell many smaller size vacuoles are present, whereas in the plant cell one large central vacuole is present. Nucleus, as like the plant cell, here nucleus also controls all the activities of the cell. Fine. So it was all about the animal cell. Now if we have to compare between the plant cell and animal cell, so we can simply say that in plant cell both cell wall and cell membrane are present, whereas in the animal cell only cell membrane is present. In the plant cell one large central vacuole is present, whereas in animal cell many smaller vacuoles are present. Now come towards the characteristics of living things. How many characteristics of living things we have? We have 7 characteristics of living things by which we can simply differentiate, we can easily differentiate between the living things and the non-living things. So we know that living things, the 7 characteristics are: living things respire, living things reproduce, living things grow, living things move, living things excrete waste, living things responds to stimuli, living things take on the nutrients. Fine, means that they need food. So these were the 7 characteristics of living things, and now we will go through them one by one. The first one is that living things need food. Why do living things need food? We know that living things need food in order to perform their life processes. Food gives them energy. We know that in order to perform various jobs, various tasks, we need energy. So how we will get this energy? We will get this energy by eating the food. Food gives us energy, and then we will utilize this energy in order to perform our job, in order to perform our task. Animals get this energy by eating different plants and other animals. Means if someone asks me, you have a question in the notebook as well, that how animals get their energy. So animals get their energy by eating different plants and animals. Fine. And the plant possess chlorophyll. We have studied that in the plant cell an organelle is present which is known as chloroplast, that contain a green pigment chlorophyll, by means of which they can prepare their own food by absorbing energy from the sun by a process called photosynthesis. Fine. So it means that all living things, whether the plant or animals, need food. The next one is the living things respire. Means both plants and animals take in oxygen and give out carbon dioxide when they respire, and they use this oxygen to break down their food and in order to obtain their energy. In order to obtain energy, the living organism have to break down their food, they have to simplify it, and then they get the energy which is then utilized by for doing the various tasks. So we have different organisms. Some organisms like human beings use the lungs, whereas other like fish use gills. Understand? The next one is that living things can move. We know that living things can move, they can jump, they can walk, they can fly like the birds. So most animals move from place to place in search of food, water, shelter, and to avoid danger. Why animals move from place to place? What's the need to move from place to place? Fine. So we know that most animals, or we can say the animals, move from place to place in search of food, in search of water, shelter, and to avoid danger. We know that the food and water, these are the basic requirements of to survive. These are the basic necessities. So in order to survive, animals move from place to place in search of food, water, shelter, and to avoid danger. And there is another word for movement which is known as locomotion. Fine. So the other word for movement is the locomotion, and all living things can move, and animals move from place to place in search of food, water, shelter, and to avoid danger. All living things have sensitivity. Sensitivity means the ability to detect or sense the changes in the environment and to make responses. For example, if there is a danger in the surrounding, so we can feel the danger and we can move to the safe zone. So that is the sensitivity. We can detect the change, whether we can feel the change in the weather, in the environment, whether there is a cold or hotness. Whenever we touch a hot pot, so instantly we remove our hand from it. So why it is so? Because we have the sensitivity. All living things have sensitivity. We can feel pain, we can feel coldness, hotness, everything. So by detecting these changes, we can respond accordingly. Fine. So living things respond or react to the things which happen in their environment, and this why it is so, because all living things have sensitivity. For example, there is a plant, that is the mimosa plant, which closes its leaves when you touch them. Fine. So it means that plants and animals both have the sensitivity. Living things can reproduce. Living things can reproduce means, what is reproduction? It is a process by which living things make new life. They can make their own copies by this process. So reproduction is the process by which living things make new life. Animals produce young one, plant produce seeds, and by then sowing these seeds, a baby plant emerges, it grows out, germinates out, and then when it develops, it grows, it becomes an adult plant. So it means that both plants and animals reproduce in order to make the new life, in order to make their own copies. And if a species does not reproduce, it can die out. It will not remain no more. It will remain no more, and hence it will. So it is the important process. It is the characteristic of living organism that living things reproduce. All living things excrete. Or what is meant by excretion? It is a process by which the living organism remove the waste substances or waste products from their body. For example, we have waste here, that is the carbon dioxide, which is the waste. We do not need we do not need the carbon dioxide, so we have to remove it from the body. So that is the excretion, that is the removal of the waste air. Fine. So removal of the waste products from the body is called excretion. So excretion is also a characteristic of living organisms. It means all living things, whether the plant or animals, excrete. Fine. Waste products are removed from the body. Plants and animals have to get rid of water, gas, and waste gas and water. All living things grow. All living things grow and go through a life cycle. Fine. Life cycle means it's a cycle that repeats again and again. For example, a cat gives birth to a kitten. The kitten then grows and it becomes the adult cat again, and which give birth to the baby which give birth to the kitten again. So this means that all living things use energy to grow, and all living things grow and go through the life cycle. All animals have babies which grow and resemble their parents. Whereas the adult plants produce seeds which grow and make the new plants. Means the growth is also the characteristic of living organism. So these were the 7 characteristics of living things from which we can easily differentiate between the living organism and the non-living things. There are the 7 easily observable characteristics that all living things do. That is the movement, respire. The living things respire. The living things move. They have sensitivity. They grow. They reproduce. They excrete, and they need food. Then the next topic is the life cycle. All animals pass through the various stages in their life. For example, you were born as a baby, and then you will develop into a child. Next, now you will develop into a teenager, and then you will grow into an adult. So that this whole life is the life cycle. Fine. This whole circle is the life cycle. So we have various life cycle in this unit. That is, the first one is the life cycle of fish, which starts from the laying of the eggs by an adult fish. The egg from the egg fry hatches out, and then which develop into the adult fish again. Then the life cycle of frog. They also lay eggs, and the frog eggs are also called spawn, which develops into the tadpole hatches out of the eggs, and the tadpoles grow then into the froglet, and froglet then develop or grow into an adult frog again, which lays egg. Fine. So this is the life cycle of frog, and we know that frogs are called amphibians because They can live both on land and water. They have moist and slippery skin and they breathe through their lungs. Fine. So they are also called amphibians because they can live both on land and water and they have moist and slippery skin. Then the life cycle of insect, that is the grasshopper, which consists of the three stages. That first the adult lay eggs, from which the nymph hatches, and then the nymph again grows into the adult insect. So it is the life cycle of insect, or we can say the particularly grasshopper. Then the life cycle of butterfly, which starts from the laying of eggs by the adult butterfly, from which the caterpillar hatch, and then caterpillar grows into pupa, and pupa again develops into the butterfly. So this is the life cycle of butterfly, which repeats again and again, and hence it continues. Now why animals and plants, or we can say that how animals and plants rely on each other, how they depend on each other. Animal and plants depend on each other in the following ways, because animals provide, we can say the plants provide food and oxygen to the animals. This is a very common thing, that we get oxygen from where we get oxygen from the plants. In the similar way we get food from the plants. So how plants and animals rely on each other? Plants provide oxygen and food to the animals, whereas animals provide carbon dioxide and manure to the plants. So it means that we both are essential for each other, because we get food and oxygen from the plants, whereas we provide, or we can say the animals provide manure and carbon dioxide to the plants. Explain how humans are different from other animals. So humans are different from other animals because they have well developed brain, they have ability of learning and reasoning. We know very well that the human beings, we have the ability, we can reason for anything, we have the ability of learning. Fine. So human beings have well developed brain, they have ability of learning and reasoning, and they use proper language for communication. We talk to each other, and for talking we use a proper language. So because of having the well developed brain, ability of learning and reasoning, and because we have the ability to use a proper language for communication, therefore human beings are different from the other animals. Now we have exercise on page number 34. Fine, that is a concept check. Living things depend on each other. Plants provide humans and animals with the oxygen and food. Plants need carbon dioxide to make food. The next exercise is on page number 37, which is also a concept check. Fill in the blanks. The life cycle of grasshopper has 3 stages, whereas the life cycle of housefly has 4 stages. Now the next exercise is on page number 39. We have done these exercises in the class, but you have to retally them once again. Choose the correct answer. Another word for movement is option C, locomotion. Number 2, we need to look after plants and animals because we depend on each other for life. Option C. Number 3 statement, what hatches from the egg of a grasshopper? So a nymph hatches from the eggs. Option B. Then 4th statement is the egg of a butterfly hatches into a larvae. Option B. Statement number 5, what grows from a seed when it germinates? So root. Question number 2 is fill in the blanks. Human and other animals take in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. Fine. Plants make their own food by a process called photosynthesis. Number 3, all living things do the following. So you have to write the characteristics which we have revised in today's class as well. That is, the living things excrete, they eat food, they move, they reproduce, they respire, they have sensitivity and growth. Number 4 is plants and animals depend on each other. And number 5 is plants produce oxygen, which is in the air we breathe in. The next exercise is on page number 40. That is, mark these sentences with tick or cross. Plants never move, cross. Only plants shall have chloroplast, tick. All living things grow, yes, tick. All the life cycles have 3 stages? So no, it's wrong, because few have 4, and so it can be vary, so it is cross. Frogs eggs are called fry? No, we know that frogs eggs are called spawn, so it is also cross. Human inherit all the characteristics from only one parent? No, cross. Okay, find one word for each of the sentence. You have to answer in only one word. Okay, so the gas we need to breathe is oxygen. Another word for movement is locomotion. The word for the process of getting rid of waste products is excretion. And the word for frog eggs is spawn. And young fish is called fry. Then the exercise question number 7, page number 41. You have to label this life cycle of the flowering plant. So you can retally it once again. And then the exercise on page number 30. Hope you have understand today's lecture very well. You have to learn the log questions of unit 4, that is the characteristics of living things. Fine. Hope you have understand it very well. Stay home, stay safe. Allah Hafiz.